Hello, my dear quantum surfers. I'm very happy to be here in these beautiful surroundings next to the ashram-sacred mountain. And I'm here in this very special place, the Singing Heart Ashram with Jacqueline. Hello, Jacqueline.
Hello and welcome.
And to start with, we're going to ask you, what was the vision behind this beautiful place of yours? If you can explain to us a little bit more in depth.
Well, I can explain something to you because it happened a little differently. It wasn't that I had a vision of coming to India and making an ashram. People were actually looking for an ashram for me somewhere in Europe. And then, just a couple of months before the end of the old millennium, this mountain, Arunachala, started calling me in meditation. I'd been over most of India. I'd spent years in India, but I'd never been here. And the mountain started calling, and I just knew that I was supposed to be on the top of the mountain going into the new millennium. It was very inconvenient. I had much to do in Denmark, and the air tickets were very expensive just before the end of the year. But the calling was so strong that I got an air ticket, and I got here just 48 hours before the end of the old millennium. And people here, they told me, no, you can't be on top of the mountain all night, not possible. Anyway, I was sitting in a restaurant and I heard a young Danish couple speaking Danish. So I went to their table and told them why I was here. And they said they felt it was like a wake-up call, and they promised they'd get me to the top of Arunachala before the sun went down on the old millennium. So we started climbing, about 3 in the afternoon on the 31st of December 1999. And as I was going up, I knew that the new millennium was beginning in New Zealand, so I began chanting the Gayatri mantra. And I actually chanted for 12 hours the Gayatri and spent the whole night on top of Arunachala, going into the new millennium. This was my introduction to this place. And then a few years later, a charitable organization provided this land for me for the Singing Heart Ashram because of a vision I'd had many years before. And that was the vision of the cosmic airport. You've probably heard about this vision I had?
Definitely. Can you be a little bit more specific about this vision of yours?
Yes. Well, it happened many years ago. One morning I just woke up. I was lying in my bed in Denmark. I had my eyes closed, and suddenly I saw an airport. And I'm thinking, this is strange, an airport. But when I looked more closely, I saw arrival, departure, and transit lounge, but there were no aeroplanes. And I saw that the arrival lounge was a place where women came and gave birth to their babies, arrivals. Totally the beautiful birthing systems, the babies arriving untraumatized. Then I saw the departure lounge was for people who were departing, dying, on their way out, and they were being assisted to die consciously. And then I saw that the transit lounge was for everyone else in transit through life. It was like an ashram, where people came for true awakening. And as I looked at this airport, it was like the whole airport was vibrating with a powerful cosmic energy. And this is why I began calling it the cosmic airport. And I also knew at the time that one day I would have a physical cosmic airport, but that it was quite a way out in the future. And then what happened was I was given this place here, and also in other parts of the world, a couple of other places, people are preparing to make cosmic airports for me, where we can really manifest this vision physically. What has happened at the ashram here in Tiruvannamalai is I've been developing the teachings to do with birthing, with dying, and of course the teachings of the transit lounge. It's just the traditional teachings for awakening. So it was like I had the vision, and then I was called here, and then the vision started being grounded here in some way. And there's a little group of people in Pune. I think you know Pune.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
As in India.
Yes. And they're in the process of manifesting a little cosmic airport for me with a spiritual school as the center of the cosmic airport. And there's also a project unfolding in Brazil. And I have people with me in the Sangha in Scandinavia, where I've done many cosmic airport trainings, training people how to work with birthing and dying and transformation generally. So that's what I can say about the vision.
Very interesting. So now, speaking about transformation, there is a special time for a lot of people among us, and this is connected to this 21st of December, this alignment, this cosmic alignment. And we want to know your own specific vision about this, your insights on how you feel about all this universal buzz that is happening around it. This is the least we can say.
Because there has been a universal buzz. And you know, I was telling you, I've just been speaking up in Hyderabad. And one of the topics I was to speak on was building a world united as the evolutionary shift of the ages hits the fan. And I was saying to people, you know what it's like when something hits a fan? Stuff goes all over the place. It can be quite a mess. And this is a little bit what we saw. All the doomsday prophecies, all the terrible things that were going to happen. You know, the world was coming to an end on the 21st of December, and here we are on the 26th of December. Everything is fine. But what I was saying the other day was that one of the things I did notice was that as we got closer to the 21st of December, more and more people started realizing it wasn't going to be the end of the world. What I've often said is perhaps this is the beginning of the end of the world as we know it, as we begin to slowly but surely build a more enlightened society, what some might call we're heading towards a golden age. And as the Hopi Indians have often said, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are here to build it. And I saw the alignment on the 21st of December as quite significant. My understanding is that this isn't the biggest galactic alignment. There's a much bigger one coming a few hundred years from now. But what I always focused on with people was the fact that the alignment people were looking at started out in the galactic center. And it was like a huge sun aligning with another sun and another sun, Alcyone, with the sun from our solar system. But I was always reminding people that we also have our own inner sun. It's like the heart, the sun in the heart. So I kept reminding people that we're all part of this alignment. And I encourage people to really focus on the heart during the 1-hour meditation we did all over, millions of people all over the world on the 21st. I was encouraging people to keep the heart open, to stay in touch with the heart, to consciously let go of whatever keeps them away from the heart, because we are part of it. And now 21st of December has passed and we're here to do the work. And one of the things I always felt was that a lot would be going on around this time here at the end of December. And one of the changes we might see is that at least some of the resistance, the resistance that has made it so difficult for some of us to manifest our visions for a more enlightened society, that some of this resistance is going to start shifting. Another thing that happens, I'm sure wherever there is a lot of light, it always shines a light on the darkness. And, I have a TV here. I watch the BBC News and I watch Al Jazeera. And there's so much happening. And there's still a lot of conflict in the world, a lot of suffering. And I remember, I know a man here in Tiruvannamalai who's also a very good Vedic astrologer. And we were talking about the Vedic astrology of December 2012. I remember at one point he said, because he speaks very simply, he said, the good people are going to get more good and the bad people are going to get more bad. And what he really means is that what is there is going to be amplified. It's going to come out more powerfully. And I also remember him saying at the end, there is bad karma coming, But happiness is totally open. So for me, this sounds like it's important what people are tuning into, what they're focusing on. And the people who come to me, I'm encouraging them all the time to just live their highest truth. To stay tuned into the highest vibration they can, no matter what. Because we are the ones who are going to take humanity forward now. But we need people to really, really live their light and live the teachings. Always people who come to me, I ask them to think of their sadhana, their spiritual practice, as like a triangle. And there's 3 points on the triangle. There's meditations, there's teachings, the real truth teachings. But then there's also living the teachings, very important. And as more and more people live the teachings, they will be a natural example to people on this planet of what is possible. It's no good me just talking or writing books about birthing and dying. I've educated people also to go out into the hospitals and what you might call into the marketplace, to give people an opportunity to see what is possible. So it's very important now that we live the teachings.
That was very interesting insight. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what is the binds or the relationship between the cosmos, with all its richness and unknown, the humans and the spiritual aspect of it all?
I don't want to come with a cliche, but you have this saying you hear a lot these days. Well, let me see if I can get it right. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And also that we are multidimensional beings. And as we know, in some way, this whole creation, the whole cosmos, everything in creation, is really just the one self, playing itself out in all these different dimensions, including the earth plane. And as I see it, right now, because of this shift that is possible on the planet, a lot of us have incarnated, a lot of us who actually have a connection with many levels of our multidimensional selves. It's a little bit like this saying, bringing heaven down to earth. And I might be going a little off track on your question right now, but something just pops up, I think it was around 1979 or 1980 when I was sitting in my apartment in Copenhagen, and suddenly there was a powerful energy there, but suddenly the energy became even more powerful, and I became totally paralyzed. And 2 amazing beings appeared at my eating table, just standing there looking at me with the most powerful love vibration you can imagine. And I was totally paralyzed. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't at all afraid. I knew I was in the presence of real truth and real love. And then all my chakras started whirling around. The energy in the meridians. It was, everything was activated. Amazing. And then gently it all faded, and the 2 beings faded. And something similar happened almost every night for a couple of weeks. And after that, I started moving a lot in and out of the body, having cosmic experiences, other dimensional experiences. And suddenly I understood a lot of things. I knew things without having read them or been taught them. And it was also interesting because I was told by someone that I had been visited by higher space beings. And I remember saying to him, well, that's very nice, but I'm here to awaken to my true nature. I don't want this to be a distraction. And he said, that's very fine. It won't distract you. You just need to know for later on, because people need to know later when things start happening on this planet. They need to know about the assistance that is coming also from many dimensions. So he said, don't make a big deal of it. Get on with your sadhana until you really awaken to your true nature. But you need to know what's happened. Right? And I see this as a great cosmic happening. You know, people are giving their very best on so many dimensions. And it is an amazing time we're moving into. And also, still a big mess to clean up on some levels. But ultimately it's all perfect, and my feeling is it's moving in the right direction, but there's still quite a few bumps along the road.
That will bring us to the last question. What is your vision for the years to come, for the decades to come, for this big humankind? We're all part of it.
I really feel that we are moving into what they would call here in the East, we're moving into the Sat Yuga, the Golden Age, and leaving behind the Kali Yuga. So I think especially the next few years we're going to see a big overlap of the old and the new, and people living from the heart, people living from the solar plexus. Still great issues to do with religion, you know. This is one of the big difficulties on this planet. A lot of people still don't know the difference between religion and spirituality. But I know that we're going in the right direction. And I can imagine, you know, by the time I leave this physical body, that we're really going to be very aware that we are moving into a golden age. But after that, there is going to be much, much more to come. That's what I see for the future.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful, everything you said. And thank you very much to share all those visions of yours. And all this beautiful multidimensional vision that encompasses all aspects of humankind. Thank you very much, Jacqueline.
Thank you both for coming. Thank you.
Okay, Quantic Surfers, I hope you make out the best of everything that was said. Thank you very much, and see you soon.